Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Lior tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
All right, let's head off.
Stabilize!
Rest and rebuild!
Into the wind.
Gather!
Wind strike.
Settle down!
One with nature.
Hold the line!
Solidify!
The wind knows me.
Rest and rebuild!
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it. I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties. Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them and cause them no harm.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
I'll think about it.
I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties.
I'll think about it.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
I'll think about it.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
I'll think about it.
Ad Astra.
Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them and cause them no harm.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
I'll I'll
Can I
think
put
about it.
banker next time?
Exactly. But none of them believed me. There'll be an extra fee for that.
Rebooting.
I'll...
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it.
Next time?
I'll think about it.
But none of them believed me. There'll be an extra fee for that.
Error.
Time itself is
Oh, you're back. How are things at their headquarters?
It was as if they had all turned into completely different people.
That would prove my suspicions. The dissonance I mentioned earlier was precisely that fleeting moment of fear behind the cheerful facade.
Right. He was acting super scared too when we saw him at the gathering place. Actually, hasn't he just been acting super paranoid since we first met?
And that's precisely why I took his hat.
Oh, so the one who started it all was... It was you all along!
It's because I wanted to figure out what's really going on. I don't believe any of Dugier's talk about unstable mental states. Not too long. Dugier made very elaborate preparations for my visit. But I don't know. It almost feels like the performance was too elaborate.
Okay, but if you think something's wrong, why don't you just take the whole society into custody? Aren't you the Duke? You can do whatever you want in this place.
Well, maybe you're actually a better fit for the position than I am. Just give me the word and I'll hand you the cuffs. In all seriousness, however, cuffs and the like should be used sparingly. They're mostly for show. Everything I do is on display. The way people see me act determines the kind of world I can create down here. And I've always striven to appear fair and reasonable to the people.
That sounds a bit deep. Paimon's not sure she got all of it.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. I have to lead by example if I want to maintain expectations of justice and order. And that's why, even though Dugier had already let a few things slip, I didn't want to turn on him without irrefutable evidence.
Alright, so you're saying Dugier has figured out some way to control the members of his society. And even though the members are acting all optimistic and motivated, it's all just a show.
Indeed. He certainly seems to be using some coercive methods to turn his members into the most upbeat and motivated group of people you've ever seen. And that won't turn out well in the long run. I have some faith, though, that some of the members understood the hint I gave during our visit. The line has been set, and it's quite likely that a fish will bite.
Fish? Bite?
Let's give them some time. My guards will need it to finish their investigation, too. You can find me in my office when the time comes.
Hey! Don't just leave before you've explained everything to Paimon! Hey!
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
It's finally evening. Risley's probably wrapped up his investigation. Paimon has no idea what that guy's thinking. Let's just go find him and ask him what he's really up to.
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like anything to drink? Paimon's not that thirsty, but thanks anyway. Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that. I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about. Typical Sijun. Concerned about everyone's health as always. Why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite familiar.
Familiar? Paimon didn't even realize they were wearing them. But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea. I will stay here and wait for news from you.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liu tend to stay a while, so it is where many things come to settle. Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liu tend to stay a while, so it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
I place great
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network?
What's that?
We have a very long history, going back as far as 400 years ago. We have never had many members throughout our history, nor do we have much of a reputation, but everyone treats each other like family. Helping each other is our purpose. At the same time, we seek to maintain just dealings as much as possible.
Sounds like a pretty neat organization.
All we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, and we're not especially powerful either. We're at a natural disadvantage here in the fortress. But people won't give us a hard time if we stick together.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
Interested in joining? If you'd like to learn... Our slogan may have evolved over here. This...
You two look kind of familiar. It's the symbol of the... From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for myself. The first president of our network was an amazing... All of us have a lot...
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neverlet.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
The people who wore the badges belong to an organization called the Mutual Aid Network. According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace. Have you seen any of those before?
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol in Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire, The only one that remains should belong to Vautrin.
Oh! So the network was inspired by...
Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's found Domenico.
All right. Let us talk to him first and get to the bottom of this situation.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman, Domenico. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want? What are you gonna do? Kill me?
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions. Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Hassan has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
That idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send that letter, correct?
Yes.
Who is pulling your strings?
What? You're not trying to frame...
It's best if you... I assume your previous...
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth.
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable people here.
I only intended to do some small business after making a few trips, but I refuse to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their...
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melusine?
My initial target was Neuvillette. Everyone in the fortress of Meropide was declared guilty by him after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against him. But for some reason, no one wanted to... In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melusines to say... I recall that Chiara was the one who confiscated my goods for... But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa.
Am I to assume that the claims you've...
No.
Is it true that all...
Yes. And that's all.
Sigewinne, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neuvillette, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to capitalize on the delicate situation with the Melazines to stir up greater chaos?
Yes, I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had to be prepared for any possibility.
And how long ago was this incident?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit back and...
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melazines on our way back to the Palais Mermonia.
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. When people refuse to place their trust, for almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on. People no longer have any reservations about you and even consider you a symbol of the law. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed the whole nation.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made and searching for answers through my judgments. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower far exceed those of mine. As a matter of fact, I believe that you are the ones who deserve my respect.
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wish to investigate something on your own.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been settled...
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works. While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment. The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could...
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have 2 more things to...
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
Ah, I know of what you speak. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Mermonia's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on...
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way.
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual...
Yep. Neuvillette thought their badges looked familiar.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand up for what was right. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who according to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he had every right to feel that way.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were up, and to those who had been sitting on the fence. Vautrin's act was a very meaningful one. That's all from me. Does anyone else have anything to say? Now's your chance.
I don't have anything to say. Apart from expressing my gratitude, that is. Well then, let us head back. No need to see us off.
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes, hey, and
What I really think is, every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you.
That is, as I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. These changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
Oh, huh? It's raining! Oh no, Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye on—
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
By the way, where's Kiara?
At the Palais Mermonia, more than 50 people offered to protect her. Some even hid within the bushes to look out for danger. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy, so I asked her to stay inside the Palais. It's very safe in there.
What a relief.
Well, now it looks like the dust has to celebrate this joyous occasion. Monsieur Neuvillette.
That's not how you celebrate!
I will consider it.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I should be available next month. Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Yes! Thank you so much, monsieur!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to publicize our investigation results. I hope it will assuage the concerns of...
Welcome to the court of Fontaine. Please watch your step.
Kiara?
I accidentally fell asleep.
It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught the sender of that threatening letter. You're safe now.
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been so nice to me, so I've always felt really safe.
Do you remember Domenico? He was the sender of that letter.
Let me think. I can't remember. My memory isn't that good, so I easily forget things. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. Where's she gone, by the way? I haven't seen her in a long time. In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, "Kiara, our dreams have finally come true." I can't remember what our dreams were anymore, and I don't know why. But I felt really happy too.
I can sense your joy. It is indeed a delightful moment.
Monsieur Neuvillette. I almost forgot. I promised to model for A.
Of course.
See you next time, Monsieur.
See you next time. I once thought that time was of no consequence. Distance yourself from others and stay focused on your work. A few years or a few hundred, but after all this, I've realized the passing of time has its own. I once thought that time was of no distance yourself from, but after all this, the passing of time has.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
Oh, here you are. Did you manage to land a lucky pole?
Let's just get straight to the point. Has anything...
Patience, Paimon. Even as the situation continues to brew, we still need to make sense of what we learned so far and go over any sticking points. I'm actually still thinking about the first thing that came to my mind when I noticed something amiss. Why didn't anyone...
Oh, that's a good point.
But even if such a thing exists, it'd be one thing if it was just one or two people, which leads me to believe that it's more likely that they think I just wouldn't care. Yes, something like that. Dugier must have told them something to make them think I won't take their side. So it became imperative for me to refute that and prove my true stance. Of course, I had originally planned to do this in a more covert way, but I had to improvise when you identified the guy who'd lost his hat with everyone present. There was no way to keep our investigation a secret after that.
That makes sense. Wait, then does that mean it was all Paimon's fault?
The last thing that guy wanted was for Dugier to find out that he'd lost it. He would have never brought the matter up on his own. But now, not only has Dugier found out that he'd lost his hat, he's also realized that we were the ones who found it. That likely set his internal alarms off all at once. Yes, that's the conclusion I came to as well. It's the only thing that could explain the fear. If we didn't act right then and there, Dugier would probably come up with some other way to hide the truth and we'd be back to square one. So after giving the matter some thought, I tossed that black gem onto the ground. I must say, I was pretty satisfied with the results.
Ah, so you did that on purpose?
Yes, that's right. Of course, that box was discovered as part of our investigation of the Society from the very beginning. I had no way to know if any of the members had actually seen the gem before, but since I had to do something, I decided to gamble. Right. And I said back there that I had no idea what the gem represented. That should have been enough to let people know that it's still early days for my investigation. And since I was traveling with you, heroes who have never turned a blind eye to evil and injustice, they would also understand that we're here to help, rather than to tolerate or uphold the status quo.
You used us as a part of your plan too!
My apologies. There was no time and quite a lot to explain, so I figured it might be easier to just let you see a few things for yourselves. But I can assure you that I've now told you everything there is to know. Of course, you're under no obligation, but I would really appreciate it if you could continue to lend me your support and help me figure out the true secret behind the Society. Would you be willing to lend me your support?
But Paimon's still mad at you!
You have my thanks. Now, there are still two outstanding matters in our investigation. The first is the secret of the hats. I've examined one before. There was nothing suspicious about the item itself. The other is the true purpose of the black gem. We haven't been able to get anything out of anyone with actual knowledge of it. It's my hope that a brave fish will take my bait and venture outside of their dark and murky pool. I'll put some music on while we wait.
Excuse me, Your Grace, but may I come in? I'm afraid that someone's been following me.
Please, do.
I apologize for my lack of composure. These two are the... Yes, my lover Fasol told me all about you. Please, help us, Your Grace. He's in great danger right now.
Slow down, take a deep breath, and start from the...
I'm sorry, Your Grace. I will try.
You mean when we saw him at...
Yes, he fled immediately. But many members... Thankfully, he still managed to meet up with me, and now that he's lost Dugier's trust, what...
Censure?
Censure is Dugier's method of establishing control, as well as the thing we all fear the most. Rather than listening to me explain what it is, Your Grace, please, just let me show it to you. Every secret may be found within...
Here you are. I was wondering where you had run off to in such a hurry. Please excuse us, Your Grace. It was never our intention to disturb you like this. She rambles often, has hallucinations.
I don't recall hearing a knock or giving permission for you to come in.
Oh, my apologies. I merely did not wish for Your Grace to be alarmed.
Like we'd believe you.
Please, there's no need to be upset. It's only natural to want to side with the poor sick girl, but I know His Grace to be a reasonable man.
Well then, what if the reasonable man wants to hear the lunatic?
That would be perfectly fine with me. Thankfully, he has already returned to his senses. We've brought him back to our place, so there's no need to worry.
I'm sorry, Your Grace. I don't have anything more to say.
This is what you're afraid of, correct? You can tell me everything. I'll do all I can for you.
I've never seen that thing in my life.
Your Grace, I don't think there's anything else she would like to say. Pressuring her will not get you anywhere.
It's all right, Avis. As long as you tell me what it is that you're terrified of. No matter what it is, it will no longer be able to hurt you. I swear this on my name and honor as the Duke.
Your Grace! Forget it. I'll keep my mouth shut. I've already said everything I could say about the matter.
I'm sorry, Your Grace, but I really don't have anything more to say. Please, don't press me further.
But why?
In that case, Avis and I will be off. Once again, please accept my apologies for disturbing your peaceful evening, Your Grace.
Miss Avis, please show me your head. That is an order. There's nothing there.
Your Grace, I know you have long tired of my words, but please believe me when I say you've merely let your worries get to you. The Society has never caused trouble for you or any of the guards at the fortress. We've spent all of our time working hard. Why are you doing everything in your power to prove our guilt? What's wrong with the current state of affairs? I'll do anything for you, as long as you give me the word.
Your words bore me. You know the consequences if I find you to be lying.
Everything that I do for the fortress of Meripede. But Your Grace is welcome to visit. All right, Avis. Let's head back.
Just what's up with that guy? He makes pipe. We should have shown him his place.
Sooner or later, all will pay the price. He must have been well prepared for this exact scenario, or he wouldn't have... The entire society are his hostages. And that's why he dared to bare his fangs right in... The true secret of the society is neither on the hat nor on the members' heads. Dugier probably knew this from the very beginning, which is why he didn't... However, if we were to look at the rules, it would also seem...
Yeah.
The hats are definitely being used to hide a... But if there's nothing on her... I can't seem to make a connect...
I have an idea, but...
Huh? What is it? Tell Paimon about it!
You mean this thing? So, she handed a key piece of evidence over to us without Dugier noticing. That would mean... Let me take a look. I managed to remove this from the hair clip. It's...
Paimon's lost again.
Let's see. What if we do this?
Hey, what are you doing? Wait. Some kind of dark liquid is leaking out of the gem. Has been absorbed by this thorny-looking thing.
You've probably heard before that water is filled with the strongest emotions of humanity. With that in mind, this liquid is probably a highly concentrated solution of fear.
Oh, so that's why even touching it will make you remember unpleasant things.
Dugier would be able to censure others. I can only imagine how it would feel to have this direct... The moment it hits you would be like being flooded with all the terror, agony, desolation, and an overwhelming sense of despair. No wonder they're all so terrified of it.
So, was the hat meant to cover up their wounds?
That might not even be all. Let's go get them right away. We can't let Dugier escape with all of the evidence.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Your Grace, we have taken the Society members into custody. They all tried to flee just a little while ago, as if they had received some kind of order. We decided to forestall their plan, and were just about to send the word when you unexpectedly arrived.
Great work, everyone.
You had prepared for something like this all along?
I had them stay here to keep an eye on things, so I'm glad that my intuition turned out to be correct. Perform a thorough search of the Society's headquarters and bring all the members to me.
Understood, Your Grace.
Now, let's check on them. As expected, they all have a hollow thorn inserted into a wound on their head.
Ooh! Paimon's glad her eyesight isn't so good that she can see it from here. Paimon's gonna float away for a bit.
They probably left it there as a lasting reminder of Dujier's censure. These people must have had to endure an unimaginable amount of pain. Let's go check out the other areas too.
Hey, come here! Have a look at this!
Look at what I found. This is a surveillance port. With this, Dugier would be able to remotely monitor everything that's happening at the gathering place. So even if Dugier's not there in person, he'll still always have eyes on the members. Indeed. It's easy to become lost and confused when you're given no instructions or any kind of script to follow. And if any action you take may be deemed a mistake, then perhaps it's better to do less, or to not do anything at all. Dugier has already tamed them to his will.
This is a book that the colors of the covers are completely... Yeah!
Your Grace! Your Grace!
What's the matter?
We couldn't find any Society members in the other areas. It also seems like none of the equipment in those rooms were ever used. All the signs of wear and tear are fake. The lime scale, the layers of dust, they were all deliberately added. We also investigated the members' residences and weren't able to find anything. Their neighbors all say that they haven't returned home for ages.
Oh. Is that right?
They're gone? That could only mean...
Indeed. As long as he allowed society members to mingle with others, even with threats of censure, Dugier knew that he couldn't stop all of his members from speaking out. Meanwhile, this marvelous gathering place will lose all of its value as soon as a whistleblower sounds the alarm. So instead of being his real base, this is just an elaborate performance. The rest areas, the fancy equipment, even the members that we saw, they were merely part of the front. And only the most docile and well-trained members were selected as his performers.
But then, where can we actually find him?
Let me think. Dugier must be holding all the rest of his members in another place. And if the overseer of my fortress guard has never alerted me to anything of the sort, he must be in Dugier's pocket. I'm of the same mind.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
Let's come up with some fun activities.
Did that person flee here?
That's the most likely scenario to me. Let's keep heading down. There are some abandoned areas in there. Since he needs space, I'd guess Duchier probably we should be on the right track. Let's go. We can take the...
Look! There's a fallen guard over there! Paimon sees some society members too!
After them!
It's Risley! Run!
Did Duchier send you? Why did you attack that guard?
Come on! It's time to talk! Can't you see that he's trying to...
I will take your cooperation into consideration when it comes time to hand...
Mr. Dugier, he didn't want this guy to expose our true location. We were just about to dispose of him when...
So, in other words, your headquarters should be this way.
Yes, it's just down this way. You'll make it there.
Guards, take them away. Let's go. It's about time that we find out what Dugier's really after.
There's so much space down here.
Yeah, these are all former work areas. There are usually guards on patrol here. Stay sharp. He's got a ton of surprises.
Gather!
Into the wind.
Allow me!
Let's begin. Stabilize!
One with nature.
Hold the line!
Run away now. Let's begin. This could get a little chilly.
Hey, are you okay?
You're safe now.
Who knew that there'd be Gardamex here? Dushi...
And that would explain the strange decommission requests Seems like he's prepared for...
Hey! What's this?
Seems like some kind of handbook. Ah, this should be... Members are not 5 members. Anyone who I see.
But that's just cruel.
To obtain food and water. To avoid punishment. Finally, isolated and without hope. Do you remember what happened to Paimon? She rejected all the snacks in the box. She's usually all for tasty snacks, but she...
Is that the best example you could come up...
No, your decision was valid. However, it's also the human heart is like a raft in a vast and empty... Those who use fear to lead others astray must pay for that crime. If I'm not mistaken, the space ahead should be the central area of this. Rather than confront Dujier, I think it's more important right now for... You guys should wait here. We'll try to open the door and check out some other spot.
Open the door? Would we... Forget it! Pirate's just gonna... Whoa! It's turning! Is it because we touched this thing? Look, the other side's open! Let's go.
Way now.
Rest and rebuild! Access denied.
A moment, please.
Born of ice and frost.
Have a safe trip.
Allow me.
Away now.
It's so high. We're not gonna have to climb all the way up, are we?
Activate the mechanism in front of us first, just like before. Let's see if that changes anything.
Ooh, the water level's gone way up. So that's how we'll make it to the top.
Gather!
Hold the line.
Into the wind.
A moment, please. These should be the prison cells. Lots of empty cells in here. Dugier's probably moved them elsewhere already.
Let's still rescue the ones who got left behind, though. Every person counts. Hey, it's all right now. You can leave this place.
No. No, I won't try to leave anymore. I'll never try to leave again. So close to me. I don't want any trouble.
No, we're not gonna do that. Please calm down. We're not bad people.
We won't be able to get through to her right now. Not with the stress response in the way. I'd also guess there are many others here who are more or less like her. Let's let the guards take care of them for now and keep pushing forward.
All right. Let's search for an exit first.
doors open. Maybe it's His Grace. I'll go take a look.
I leave this area to you.
Understood. And please take care as well, Your Grace. We'll return here right away and await your orders.
Just focus on the tasks. Let's go back. That mechanism from the... Don't forget to bring...
I must confess to being furious. To think that there are still some of you who find it permissible to spit upon our rules. Remember their names. And today you will see with your own eyes what'll happen to those who betray our cause. Go on, Avis. Pierce his skull with the thorn. Of course, you will do it one drop at a time. Let it do its magic again and again, and don't stop until you've pushed all of it in.
Thistle. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Oh, shut your wretched mouths! When did I give? My rules are the paramount law of this place. Only more pain will come to those who dare.
That's enough, Dugier. Your rabid screams have been beyond nauseating.
Is that His Grace?
Oh, Risley. I knew you would come, but I didn't expect you to be so quick. Must you still refuse to let me be? Did I not spell everything out for you already? What's so blasphemous about sharing a slice of the cake with me when you've already got the entire fortress at your feet?
It would seem that you can't see the difference between sharing and looting. And on top of that, look at your people. Are they not starving as you wolf down your cake?
You. Stop acting all high and mighty like some hero of justice! Have you forgotten? Nobody in this blasted fortress is innocent. We are all irredeemable monsters who have destroyed something that others held dear. What's so wrong about punishing those who deserve to be punished? It's what they've always deserved. And please, are you really gonna tell me that you care about their lives and well-being when you just need a supply of labor to keep this place running? Is it that all you need to keep your cushy life?
Sadly, you're wrong on both counts. Unlike you, I've never seen them as currency. The fortress is not only a place for confinement, but also a place for rebirth. Just as people are free to give in to the darkness within their hearts, they are also free to seek redemption and a new beginning. Our bodies have limits, but our spirits will always remain free. They may have made mistakes, but they are still human beings with people and things that they cherish. And most importantly, they should always retain the freedom to choose their own path once they've reflected on their past misdeeds. But you're destroying their spirits with fear, taking their freedom away so that they'll become slaves who will never again feel or think. And you say that's what they've always deserved? You are nothing compared to them.
He's really mad.
You think me arrogant, Risley. Well, I think you're too... Nobody actually sees this fortress as any kind of just a wonderful place. See it for what it is. A dumping ground of pain and misery, irredeemable now and irredeemable forever! No prisoner will listen to you out of gratitude of their hearts. The whip is the only way to make them obey. Had you been just one step slower, I would have already taken control. Your vision gives you strength. But how long?
You talk big, but in the...
Solidify!
Access denied.
Stabilize!
The wind knows me.
Away now.
Into the wind.
Stay cool. Face your guilt. Let's begin. Gather.
Allow me.
The wind knows me.
Away now. If you think fear can control everything, well then, terrify me.
Don't high road me. You're just another crook. And it's time you got treated like one.
What's the matter? Too scared to shoot straight?
I'm warning you. Unauthorized punishment and torture are prohibited here. As the Duke, you should set an example.
Funny how that slipped my mind. Well, from this point on, you can forget about that rule. The rules of the fortress are there to keep the likes of you in check. But if the Duke wants somebody dead, he needs no justification. Understood? Sorry for taking so long. Did I?
No, not at all. Paimon didn't know you were so considerate.
If you ask me, I'd say I actually feel very helpless. There's no way that I could truly empathize with the fear that the members felt every day. I could comfort and compensate them all I want, but it might still not be enough to repair the damage that has been done. I have to take responsibility for it, as does the fortress. Yeah. It's the least that we could do.
So, do you have a plan for how you're gonna deal with him yet?
Oh, Dugier? I've already got an idea. For now, I think I'll do nothing.
Huh? Why?
I think it's a very fitting punishment for him to have to imagine the sorts of punishments that will soon be coming his way. He'll be left in the dark with regards to both the dates and the details of his punishment. Of course, that's not to say that I'll be letting him off scot-free. It's not often that I act. I'm going to talk to the members of the society.
Paimon didn't know you could also be so harsh. Looks like she should watch her tongue when she's around you in the future.
Why do you think I'd do that kind of thing to you? You offend me, Paimon. Anyway, jokes aside, thank you so much for all of your help. There's still a lot for me to take care of, so... How about this? I'll treat you to a meal in 2 days at the coop... Don't worry, it won't be the same old welfare meal. I'll make the necessary arrangements.
Oh, then you've got yourself a deal.
Osm...